Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. We're jumping into the queue here, and let's have a look at my game, in which I have been matched with Lorelei. Top 200? Maybe top 100? Something like that. A lot of the good stuff in this set, Zatron doesn't mind. Like, all this Absorb Denial is just not that compelling if you can get a Zatron. But I'm not really convinced you want... Not really convinced you want that much green when like all the good attackers are other stuff and there's nothing else green to get after Zatron. Like, you don't want a ton of conduits, and if you just get one conduit, it takes way too long to get the Zatron. So I think it's more a question of like aggression with Phage and Rager, or patience with Manticore and Mixer. I'm inclined to say that like player 1 should go blue and player 2 should go red, just because it's more natural for each of them. Is it more natural? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I think Fastimus is just pretty good here. Seems fine. I don't think Elliot Animus is that amazing against it. And we'll get something like Phage Tarsier with our first Animus, which is very similar to Tarsier Drone. It borrows $1, which I don't need, so in that sense it's wasting a Blood Phage seed. But I think I will be using the click ability quite soon, and so I can't afford to put off getting the Phage. Right, like you might very well... You would not be at all surprised to use the click ability on the Blood Rager turn, which is the very first possible turn you have any red attackers. So you want one of those to be a Phage. Yep. Alright. Well, red versus blue. Here we go. No, red versus red. Okay, fair enough. Player 1 does have a pretty reasonable... I could get a Rhino. Because like player 1 wants to build Phage, right? Into Phage. I don't think that's a good enough reason to get a Rhino now. Yeah, let's just add some more attack. Real attack, not just Rhino attack. What are they gonna do? Like, can you let me attack for 3? I don't think you can. Which means you kind of have to buy a Rhino, threatening your own Rager. And then I Rager that, you Rager in response, which is pretty cool for you, I guess. The other thing is, I kind of want to be able to click my Rhino and also buy a Rhino to do more damage, and so I don't think I want a second Phage. I don't want to buy a drone together with this Tarsier. I want to have like $12 available next turn, and 2 red, which means I can't afford a drone right now. And if they don't buy a Rhino and I don't get my Rager, that's fine. Then I'm breaching for a drone, right? Those are both good outcomes for me, I think. I think Tarsier Drone is clearly better here, although it's unlikely to matter. And although thinking about it that way make you realize that the drone is really a bad idea. Do I even get a Rager here? Like, isn't killing all these things and then threatening 5 next turn pretty cool? Or even 6? Right? Like, is Rager actually better than Rhino right now? If I just get another Rhino and threaten 6, A, there's no way you can Rager me in response. Is there? You have a Rhino, you have to click your Rhino to do it, and I don't think you can even do that. You could click Rhino, build Rager, build another Rhino. I don't know, like, you have 0 defense after clicking a Rhino, and you're spending 1 of your red on a Rager. Then you get a Rhino that leaves you $3. You can't, even holding 3 drones doesn't defend. So this gives up my own Rager, but it's not that great a Rager, and it really punches opponent pretty hard, I think. I think they may have gone too greedy, and this is the way to demonstrate that. Like with this second phase, it was just too many drones. And I only have 3 permanent attackers. I can Rager later if I want. Maybe. I think the second Rhino to do 6 damage instead of 5 really is very good. And I should not just be greedy and get a Tarsier. Good luck with that. When are they gonna nerf Rhino, man? I don't know. How good really is this line? Unclear. So first question is, like, if I do this, is it good? I kill 2 Rhinos, but they can actually Rager next turn, right? So I think that I don't do that. I say, gotcha, I'm building a Rager now. They can do the same, maybe, but if they do, I'll be threatening 4, 5, 8 damage, and I'll be able to kill some Rhinos for sure. Are they gonna try to double Rager? That's an idea, but there's no way they can. They can't afford to click all these Rhinos and spend all their red on Ragers. So the question is, what do I do with my remaining red? Tarsier seems okay, honestly. Maybe I just click it away into a forge or something? Or a conduit? Yeah, I think a conduit's pretty okay. I like force fields. They can Rager me, but I'll get to kill some Rhinos for it. And then I'll be totally fine, I think. No. I do not allow this. I guess I could have tried to float for double Rager next turn, but I think that's just so clearly unreasonable. This defends. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should have gotten a wall. Or a forge for walls, I should say. And this also defends. And I have 5 permanent attack. They have 3. I don't know. Sort of hard to actually click everything, isn't it? Like, my rhinos only absorb 1, but so does your wall. Haha, so I'm not sure how great that really is. Hang on. They're losing almost certainly 2 attackers here, right? But I guess the force field is still good to defend my extra rhino. I think drone NG is fine. I want granularity. I want, like, to have some drones. Oh, they were losing at least 2 attack, almost certainly 3. Whoops. The force field was still good, though. Against 4 attack, I was otherwise losing a rhino. Okay, that's a cool Rager. Well done on that one. This is extremely greedy. But I have 2 rhinos coming on tempo here. Maybe it's too greedy. They're actually attacking for all 5, almost certainly, right? Which means I'm going to lose all my granularity. Yeah, I think the drone here is just too greedy. Something like this is a reasonable compromise, I think. I want that granularity, basically, more than I want the extra drone from Rager. Phage. Although I wouldn't mind the click ability of Phage at this point to let me transition into mostly blue. It's like walls are pretty good now. If I had 2 phages, I wouldn't be too sad about clicking both of them pretty soon, I think. Click phage, buy phage forge. That's actually an interesting play that I can just afford now. I'm hurting a little for granularity on this one turn. But like wall rhino force field or wall rhino hold drone or something seems playable. I could hold on to this rhino click actually. Right. The damage later is just as good as damage now, and I might be able to squeeze some extra tempo like mostly some extra granularity. If I can convince opponent not to click their Rhino, then I can save the NG and my granularity, but I guess that's not going to happen, right? And the same thing happens even if I do click the Rhino. If they somehow don't click their Rhino, it comes out the same. So, okay, yeah. I was thinking whether it could somehow be good to hold the Rhino since it was an available play, but it didn't seem like it was actually productive. Okay. Opponent's actually in an okay spot, I think. And they have good exploit possibilities with this Rhino. Right, they should hold one Rhino and get me. Right, exploit me. But, I don't know, if you buy a Rhino just to hold it, like how great was it? No, you definitely hold the Rhino. The click doesn't do anything. I'm up a little attack, but I'm also down a few drones. An opponent has, I think, some good defensive tempo in these Rhinos. On the other hand, they're holding drones, and I have a store of green. I don't know. There you go. That's how you tell them. Question mark? Like, this still has an exploit available, but it lets me turn my green into something useful? I don't know. It's sort of like, would you rather have a Rhino or a Gauss Cannon right now? They both cost... No. They both cost 6 gold, but the Gauss Cannon also costs a green. When you put it that way, it's pretty stupid. I'd obviously rather have the Rhino. I don't know. I gave opponent the keys to the kingdom by telling him about the exploit he missed. He or she. And it's going to hurt me on this turn, but it felt worth it. Actually, an attack for 6 doesn't exploit anymore, because if I want, I can lose Force Field Rhino onto wall. Like, if they could attack for 8, it would be an exploit. And 6 is sort of an exploit, because it costs me my Rhino, which I'd rather not lose. So they should attack for 6, but at least I don't lose Absorb out of the deal. I don't know, this is kind of silly, isn't it? I do think I'm just the tiniest bit behind, maybe? Which, you know, in a position like this, being the tiniest bit behind is the same as losing. They're both very bad. But I don't know, I got to add attack, and mostly like its opponents like rhinos are what makes me feel like I'm behind. But I'm up in permanent attack, if you can call it permanent. Oh, wow. I think a rhino would be a lot better than a tarsier here. Here, oh, they have no exploit possibility. They cannot hold any attack. This wall seems bad, though. I need to add more attackers, right? Well, why don't I just attack with the one I have then, huh? Instead of like building another splitter that I plan to hold as a wall. Yeah, I think the opponent just has enough defensive gas to like hang on. And then the fact that I don't have enough drone, I have fewer drones is going to be why I lose. Let's slow down. I could consider... No, FFS does not defend. I could FF3. Hard to see that working. Yeah, I'm down 5 drones, and I'm not actually up any attack. We did just force triple force field. But, I mean, opponent, we didn't force it. Opponent chose it to get out a splitter, right? And suddenly they're up 2 attack. I mean, I'll stick around. The game's gonna be over pretty quickly either way, and I might as well, like, ensure that I actually have lost before I resign. But it seems pretty likely to me that this is a lose. Yeah. Right, like, that's the defense. Yeah, an opponent can just defend this turn very easily, and then next turn, I lose. So, right around here, when I denied the first Rager, I feel like things were going pretty well. I was down 2 drones. But I was kind of in the driver's seat, wasn't I? I think so. Like, I got a Rager here, but maybe that's just way too greedy. Like, it only denies 2 absorb. And furthermore, it means that these rhinos, like, get to actually attack, so it's a lot more value. I think I should have just kept up with the pressure that, like, I got these 2 rhinos and then I didn't attack with them. Like, yeah, that just seems terrible. Like, buying them did something. It forced opponent to take a turn they didn't like, but it didn't do a lot. And then I ended up just like losing them on defense, so really not great. Let's see how this looks. If I just say, okay, I'm gonna attack you and make you lose 2 more, and now you have like 1 Rhino, 3 Phages. They can Rager me then, you know? No question about it. But I don't know if it's really that great for them to do. Right? Like, you can do this. This is a play if you want a Rager. So first, let's look at them actually buying the Rager and say, how great is it? Well, first of all, this is defended, so I don't necessarily need another Rhino, although there's so much on the defensive that maybe I should get one. Yeah, just try to punch their face in before they get value out of having more attack than me. I get the feeling this is not actually going to work out, though. Well, maybe it is. Right, if they want to defend, they have to hold at least 2 drones and hold this Rhino. They could hold more drones and build fewer Rhinos, but I don't see why that would be so great. And now suddenly I have Rhino tempo, right? And I'm killing at least 2 of their attackers. This defends. I don't know, build more. Rhinos are OP. And, like, they're just toast, right? Like, this is the defense? Man, I had the right idea at the beginning. Well, okay, so this is if they try to build the Rager. But what if they don't? What if they say, okay, you got me, we're gonna play Rhino Chicken. And, like, just see who comes out ahead on that. Now, like, this defends... I'm losing a Rhino. Now they're losing a Rhino. This defends. I can actually get a Forge. Seems like it's going to be pretty cool. Or I could maybe keep going on the Rhinos. I don't know. But now I feel like they're not really in a position to Rager me at all. And like I have walls and they don't. I don't even know what to do here. Like, get more tempo with Rhinos? But I'm totally fine, right? Maybe a little greedy. Well... the Rager would be the greediest. Hold 2 Rhinos by Rager. I don't think that's called for. And like now, they're finally in a spot to like get off all these Ragers. But in the meantime, I've added an extra attacker. I'm up on drones. And I feel like this is also winning for me. Like, okay, opponent's actually out of Rhinos. I have several left. I don't think I really want to buy a ton of Rhinos, but if I wanted to, I could. I could get a Rager here, but actually, like, getting one later might be pretty good when they finally put down a wall. I'll be attacking for 4, but, like, I don't know. Maybe it's fine. strategy is probably useful here for the granularity and stuff. And like, look how far ahead I am, right? They get a wall, you know, congratulations. But, well, actually, I think they try to get a Rager here. That's the only way I see to like get an advantage. And maybe it works, I don't know. But I'm adding so much attack. I'm up on drones, right? Yeah. All they have are these rhinos that are just about to go away, and right? So I feel like anything I do here except this turn wins. This turn was just abysmal. Like, I don't know. Maybe buying a Forge instead also loses. I kind of didn't want to do that because they were threatening to Rager it, but... yeah. I think it was just way too much value to kill 2 Stamina Rhinos. I declined that value and gave it to my opponent instead. And, you know, maybe I had some winning lines after that, but this turn was just such a massive blunder that it's really hard to blame what I did later compared to what I did here. It just costs so much to get this Razor and not click these Rhinos. And I'm mad because I saw like how much tempo I was getting by just like jamming Rhinos at them. And I just needed to follow through with that instead of getting what looked vaguely to the most facile analysis like a value Rager. And the game would be pretty much an auto win at that point. So I'm not going to look too much at all the stuff that happened later. I'm sure it was interesting. You could certainly find some slips that we both made, but the game was won and lost on turns 5 and 6 respectively. Oh well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.